Hey guys, the last few days has been really emotionally draining. Okay, first off, this is about my mom. Um, she, she's alive, but, her health right now is not the best. It started, um, 3 weeks ago when we all noticed that she wasn't breathing as well as she should. She would walk like 5 feet and be out of breath. My dad and me kind of just assumed that it was because she didn't really go out much. She liked to stay in bed and read. That was her day-to-day like stuff. But then it got to the point of it stayed the same for the 3 weeks, but she's just like this it should be gone by now. I think there's an issue. I should go to the doctor. She goes to the doctor. She goes in to a bunch of different doctors 3 days in a row. And then two of the doctors kind of concluded you have blood clots in your system, in your body, specifically in her lungs. These blood clots they're small. They're small blood clots, but they're still blood clots. The doctors that she was seeing kind of recommended you should probably check yourself into a hospital so you're better looked after. And they can run all the tests they want. So, after I found out, yesterday I found out that the blood clots even existed. I was upset because I cried. Because a lot of people, when you hear the word blood clots, that's a very negative connotation with that. Life-threatening. And I was just super upset. I thought I was going to lose my mother. I still am afraid that I will lose my mother because she's not out of the dark yet. And it's still upsetting. So she checks herself into the hospital. I wasn't there. It was just her and her mom, my dad and my mom, that were there. And they're doing all these tests, and they then they pretty much do what all doctors do. They presented options she could do and stuff like that. And then as the more tests they did, they noticed that there was blood clots near the opening of her heart. And we all know blood clots and heart do not mix, at all. So when they found out that, they kind of pushed her case into the high risk. They were given this option of a few different surgeries of what they could do. They ended up landing a surgery of this guy opening. I didn't exactly know what was happening. But pretty much in the short form, they shove a tube in there, and I think they inject some kind of blood thinner. But then the special thing that this doctor did was that he sucked the clots out, not just put the blood thinner in. So that was a 4 or 5 hour ordeal. And I only keep in mind I hadn't seen my mom since she left to go to the hospital because I was here at home doing home shit. I don't know. My parents didn't want me there, so I didn't go. today, pretty much the last 2 days, I've been very upset. I've been crying a lot. If you can't tell, I look like shit because I feel like shit, emotionally and physically. I should probably drink more water because I've been crying so much. Pretty much what has happened today is I was doing laundry because, side note, I broke the fucking dryer yesterday. So, yesterday and today are, bad luck all around. So, yeah. So I'm doing laundry and stuff like that. And then my dad comes home around 3 or 2. He comes home at 2 and pretty much explains, the whole surgery of what she's gonna do. And then, he pretty much said, yeah, they're gonna roll her in about an hour. And I just kind of wanted to come back and, freshen up and then leave again. And, he offered, you can come too. And I was like, I want to come. And so we collect everything in the house or whatever. We do our house shit. And then we quickly leave, and we went in 2 separate cars. And I was much faster than him, so I got to the hospital first, but I got lost, I guess. When I came in, I pretty much went exactly where I was supposed to go alone, and she was already in surgery. So I was just like, okay, I don't see anyone I know, and I don't see Mom, so I'm just gonna walk back to my car. And then I meet up with my dad and my mom's friend. And pretty much what happened was I was super upset. Obviously, I've been crying almost constantly. And we end up, eating and then going back to the waiting room. And, when I sit in that waiting room chair is first thing, there's, the waiting room's kind of small and it's crowded. The unit we were at was the ICU or UCC or something about that. And, there was, I guess this huge fucking family that was there for someone who was all in the waiting room. So me and my dad sit down and we just, I get this, vibe of sitting in this waiting room of, I really don't want to be here. And I just, I said to my dad, I'm going to go walk. And he's like, okay. So pretty much what I do is I walk for a little bit, and then I sit in one of the chairs in one of the big main hallways where it kind of, is the main hallway, and then, it branches off to everything else. And I sit in that chair, and I literally was just crying publicly and openly in front of everyone that was walking by me. And so you know, it's a main hallway, so there was a lot of people, walking by me. But it was interesting because whenever someone got close to me or was in front of me, they got silent. And I don't exactly know why, but literally everyone, whenever they walked in front of me, they just went dead silent. And I didn't pay anyone mind because I was upset. I was in that mindset that I could lose a mother right now. And I was bawling. I tried to stop myself multiple times, so it was one of those So yeah, it was crying, trying not to cry, crying, trying not to cry. And it got to the point of I really don't want people to watch me do this constantly. So I was just I'm just gonna go to my car, even though it's 90 outside. but it was in like a parking structure, so it was not as hot. But I ended up just sitting in my car crying. I ended up calling care. We talked. I was a wreck. I after a while, after a while crying, I kind of knew that I just needed to get everything out of my system. So I cried, a whole bunch in the car. And after, I kind of noticed I stopped and was calmer, I was just like, okay, I'll go back in. And, funny enough, I get back to the waiting room, and literally, 2 steps behind me is the doctor that was performing the surgery on my mom. And that's, for me, when that happened, I was just like, oh, fate is actually a thing. Because, that's a weird thing to happen of, oh, I was just upset, and then I'm going into the waiting room. Oh, wait, the doctor that performed the surgery on my mom is right behind me. What? He pretty much said that, he got 50 or 60% of everything out near my mom's heart, which isn't exactly the most comforting thing, but most of it, I don't know. But, the thing is, he explained, after he got a lot of the clots out, that he injected, I think it was the aggressive or the medium grade blood thinner in there. So, whatever he didn't get, it could probably dissolve the rest of them. And, so he was explaining that, and then, me, my dad, and my mom's friend were just kind of in higher spirits, because, my mom was okay, she was out of surgery, it was fine. And then, I wasn't afraid that I was gonna lose. I was 90% less stressed about that. I still have that 10% of, she's not out of the dark yet, so I'm still kind of stressed out. It's a whole different thing from seeing, wondering if your mom is gonna die, to seeing her the way she is after surgery. It's not as bad, it's not as stressful as thinking she's gonna die, but it sticks with you, partly because I've never seen my mom like that. That's not, yeah, no, pretty much when I walk into her room after the surgery, she's, 1, slightly conscious, and 2, the second thing I notice is she has one of those tubes stuck down her throat so she can't talk. So I really obviously didn't like seeing my mom like that. 1, she couldn't speak, and 2, she was plugged into all these machines, and the way she was moving her arms and what she was doing was just, I pretty much ended up holding her hand a few times, but for the most part, when I was in the room, I just kind of stood in the corner and was watching her, because I was trying to pretty much soak in the fact that that was my mom on the bed. And I'm happy that she's fine. I'm happy that she's out of surgery. But seeing her like that, immediately when the nurse or whoever he was or she, whatever, I think there was two nurses, one guy, one Asian girl. And I don't remember who I said it to, but like, I immediately said like, can we please make her more comfortable? I really wanted to say like, please just like sedate her again because I know she's in pain and I really don't want her to be in pain. So, yeah, no, it's something that really sticks with you, and she kept on lifting her arm and pointing to her mouth or her chest, like she pretty much saying she was in pain and she really didn't want to have the tube down her throat, and she tried to talk a few times, and I go to hold her hand and I'm upset, so I start like slightly tearing up. And then I notice her eyes are tearing up, and I'm just like, God damn it, Mama. God bless that one nurse. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, the Asian nurse that was in the room with her was really intimate with her. Like, you like explaining, like, you need to calm down, like, breathe slower, breathe, like, and was pretty much holding her hand and stuff, and I didn't see her, but my mom, I guess, started crying, and the nurse was like, it's okay to cry, I know you're in pain, and she was talking to my mom, and I'm just like, God damn. And another thing that, like, God bless that nurse, was she turned around and looked at me, and I guess she could tell I was upset. And she just, like, straight up hugged me, and I was like, oh, okay, I didn't expect this. And she was pretty much like, it's going to be okay, your mom is fine. And I'm just like, God damn it. And then I didn't realize it at the time, but one of the times I was kind of holding her hand, she kind of moves her hand away from my hand and makes two specific, like, hand signs. At the time, I didn't recognize what they meant, but one of the signs was like, I didn't know exactly what she was meaning by when she did this, but like, now that I look back on it, she was probably saying like, I'm okay, I'm alive, and then she tried to do this like weak ass kind of thing for this. And, like, when she did that, I was just like, what the fuck does that mean, Mom? And then I remembered on the way home from driving from the hospital, I realized that it meant I love you, and I just kind of started bawling like I am now, and it's just, she was being my mom even though she's in pain. As you can tell, I'm just kind of in a very hard spot, and I'm just like, okay, I don't exactly know what to do right now, and I have a giant headache. Awesome, right? I texted my dad that I was home alive and shit, and he pretty much texts back like, Mom's sleeping and stuff, which is what I wanted when I first walk into that room. Like, can we please just make her pass out so she doesn't have to be awake through this? But actually, last night and this night, my dad's gonna be sleeping in a chair in her room because expect nothing less of my dad. My dad he cried in front of me earlier today when he got me. And like any normal husband that loves his wife, he was obviously upset. Like, he was as worried as me, but he didn't show it as much. He loves my mom. I know he does. So it's like, I expect nothing less of my dad staying in a fucking hospital chair, sleeping uncomfortable, but it's with his wife, my mom. And I understand, like, he doesn't want her left alone because, I mean, in the ICU, like, a nurse is assigned to only 2 patients. So the patient is more looked after. Even, like, I know my mom has really good care right now. My dad, I know, wants someone 24/7, like, in that room making sure that she's okay. And, like, he pretty much assigned that job to him. So that's why he's been to the hospital for the last 2 nights. Knowing my mom, once she has the tubes taken out and she's fine and talking, she's probably gonna give my dad an earful of, like, go home! Brr! So, like how my mom is. And not gonna be surprised, I will not be surprised if she ends up cussing out someone tomorrow or tonight. Cussing out will probably happen, most likely happen. That's just the way my mom is. I love my mom. My mom is, like, the best. I really, really love it. Honestly, if you made it through the end, this whole fucking video, like, I don't mind. Like, just, if you're religious, pray for my mom. If you're not, just send her thoughts. And if you feel like it's necessary, you can send positive thoughts to me. But when you should really send those positive thoughts to my mom, not me. I'll be fine. It's my mom I'm worried about. So, anyway, I don't even know why I'm recording this. I don't even know if I'll put it up, but I just kind of wanted to vent everything. So, yeah. Bye, guys. I love all of you. Just be positive. I'm not. That's why I need you guys. Anyway. Bye, guys.
Okay, we're gonna look around, right? So we spin.
Mom, don't spin the mouse.
Best ground ever. I just love looking at the ground.
Wait, no, I don't. I want to look at the wall.
Then get closer to the wall.
I want to look around the room.
Then turn the fucking... No.